Hey everybody, it is Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and happy 4th of July. And being that it's the 4th of July and Independence Day, I thought there was no better way of celebrating our nation's independence than building a grenade launcher. Yeah, so that's what I did today. So you guys know I have my B&T GL-06, which I recently got the 40mm barrel for. This thing is now a registered destructive device. Got my ATF Form 1 back on it. So I installed the 40mm barrel today. So I got the old 37mm barrel off this. This one is smooth bore. The 40mm is rifled. Let's see if we can see it here. Maybe, let's see. I think you can kind of see it a little bit there. The installation process was easy. There's one pivot pin right in here. And by the way, somebody sent me the digitized version of the Armorer's Manual, so it really did help. You have to take off the rail panels on both sides. You tap out the pivot pin. The barrel simply just comes off. You replace the spring, which pushes the barrel up. You have to transfer the front sight and the locking block, which is right down here, over to the new barrel. And I had to use a heat gun to do that. And by the way, just to let you know that sometimes I make silly mistakes, I actually was going to make a video about this, because there's no videos out there, showing how to do this. And I got through most of the video, and then I realized I forgot to turn on the microphone. So I didn't get to do it. So I was like, I'm not going to do like a talk over or any of that. So we're just not going to have a video about it. But everything went easier than I thought it was going to. The only thing I had to do extra was the heat gun to break some of the thread lock for the locking block and the front sight post, because it was just too tight when I used an Allen wrench to get it off. The rails came off pretty easy. I did put Loctite back on it. I used the blue Loctite, which I think should be fine, because they had not put on red, so it wasn't red Loctite. It was all blue Loctite. So I made sure to put everything kind of back to spec. But the whole procedure was super easy. And I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. So yeah, a B&T GL-06 40mm grenade launcher. Something I did discover that I don't think I ever noticed before is that when I do fold the stock and it comes over, you can actually lift up on it a little bit and it actually folds over the rail. So it locks into place. So that is really neat. I don't know why I never noticed that before. But anyway, so this is a cool part of my NFA collection now. I just got to go out and get some 40mm projectiles, maybe some smoke or beanbag rounds or other things. They sell a bunch of them that are non-explosive, so they don't require any type of special paperwork. Just, as I said, like a beanbag round or something of that nature. And then I'll find some land. Maybe some friends have some that I can go out and shoot this thing and get some footage recorded of me shooting it. So that is pretty darn cool. That is just one of the coolest firearms, I think, in my collection. So that's what I did today, but unfortunately there's not going to be a video on that. That's really all I really had for you today. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I don't really think there is. I guess the Supreme Court took on another case, a Second Amendment case, dealing with prohibited persons. That's going to be interesting. I know a lot of the legal firearms channels have talked about it, but just because they decided to take the case up in the next session, it's going to be a while before those arguments are presented, and then eventually the opinions will be rendered. And what the scope of that one will be, I don't know. I really think it's going to be pretty narrow, where I thought Bruin was going to be pretty broad, and it was, even though the states and other lower courts are trying to get around it. I knew that was going to be a broad ruling. I have a feeling that this prohibited persons case is going to be a pretty narrow ruling that deals just with aspects of like nonviolent felons and, people losing their gun rights for nonviolent things, or things that are procedural that you get, if you can go to jail for the crime for over 365 days, you lose your gun rights forever. So you have white collar, criminals or somebody that, I don't know, even some misdemeanors rise to that, nonviolent, and you lose your gun rights for the rest of your life. So I don't know if that's right. I personally believe that if the courts have determined you have some type of punishment, once that punishment is served, jail time or whatever, you should get all of your rights back. Voting, guns, all that. Because if you're too dangerous to be on the street, you're too dangerous to not have your rights restored. So we need to do something about that. It's not right that people can just be stripped of everything for the rest of their lives. So anyway, that's what I did. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 4th of July. I got some cool range reports coming. I'm trying to think, as I said, if there's anything else I really wanted to talk about. I was really happy with how my Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week turned out. So if you guys haven't already seen that, go watch it and then go vote in next week's poll. So I really think it's going to be a good addition to the Texas Gun Vault 2, something that I can grow here and make the channel grow, get bigger, and then have 2 separate channels for 2 different types of content. Because I like making this stuff here just kind of off the cuff. It's low pressure. It's just me talking versus more of the organized range reports. So anyway, that's all that's going on. So what do you guys think? 40 millimeter grenade launcher. So happy Independence Day. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.